for the Wolfpack, who were picked second in the ACC preseason poll. Oklahoma 7-1, winners of 6 in a row, as Christy mentioned. 6th in the AP preseason poll right now, number 9. They were 4th in the SEC preseason poll. Two of the very best from their respective conferences. NC State in red, Oklahoma in the cream, and the opening tip is controlled by the Wolfpack, and we're underway here in Norman on a Wednesday night.
We'll expect player to player early here from Oklahoma. And for NC State, it's so much about taking care of the ball and shot selection, because we know Oklahoma wants to get out and run.
Here's Zam Jones, defended by the freshman Aaliyah Chavez. Jones hangs in the air, can't get it to drop, and a rebound for Sahara Williams, the junior, playing very well right now for OU. And you see how quickly they want to push it up the court. Peyton Verhulst and Reagan Beers, two familiar seniors. Zaya Vanna, sophomore. Chavez, the star freshman, the leading scorer for this Oklahoma team. 5 starters averaging in double figures for OU. Trigger over to Brooks, and a turnover for NC State. Starting 5 for NC State, Zam Jones averaging 15 points a game the last 4. And again, you cannot blink, you can't look down, because it's going to be pushed up the court quickly. So NC State has to get down the floor and be ready for Oklahoma to go quickly.
Well, one thing Wes Moore said at the very beginning of their shoot around today, transition defense is critical. We've got to get matched up early.
Said that more than once, and already Oklahoma pushing the tempo. Here's Chavez. Kick to the corner for Van. Williams can't hit, and Verhulst can't control the rebound, and here comes Samuels the other way for NC State.
Well, I asked Wes Moore, do you want to play with pace? He said, yes, we're better when we play with pace. He said, but we must defend, because he was very much aware of how quickly Oklahoma can get up and down the floor.
This is a good matchup to watch. It's the Williams-Pierre showdown. Pierre, an outstanding rebounder, bumped off the rebound by Van, and here comes Williams with the handle.
And this is why Oklahoma is so good in transition. All 5 players can knock the 3 down. All 5 players are moving constantly.
Beautiful pass by Williams, but a tough finish for Verhulst. Brooks, speedy guard, can get down the court quickly.
Great change of pace there to get by the defender.
Chavez pulls from deep. One and done. Pierre, outstanding rebounder, averaging 14 and 13 on the season. The 13 rebounds a game, good for 3rd in the country.
And that's one thing both coaches said. Rebounding is critical to get the win here tonight.
Pierre will take that if you leave her open. Went for 18 in the most recent game for NC State and added 16 rebounds in 27 minutes against Southern Miss. Van for 3. Chavez on the glass. Chavez averaging 18 points a game. That's 1st on the team and 6th in the SEC. Brooks got half a step on Van, and that's all that Zoe Brooks needs.
Well, one thing that's critical is, as good as Oklahoma is defense, they've got to take care of the ball, because it's going to put a lot of pressure on their half-court defense.
Samuels with the steal, up to Brooks for the pull-up. Good response by NC State, and Brooks off to a great start. She has 6, 3 for 3 from the field. Verhulst from deep. One and done, and now Brooks. Brooks trying to get around Van, leans in, and she is 4 for 4 to start here today. You thought the first 5 minutes were going to be critical for NC State today. Why?
Because this is a young team. First true road game for the Wolfpack. They needed to start strong, because we know how quickly Oklahoma can run you out of the gym with their pace of play. Tremendous start so far for NC State.
There's Pierre on the spin. Williams does everything well for Oklahoma. Halfway down from Pierre, and the rebound for OU.
And Eric, you hit it on the head earlier. The key matchup to watch is Pierre on Williams. Why? Because they are the nucleus of both these ball clubs.
Beers on the inside. If she gets the position and gets the feed one-on-one, it is over. Averaging 17 points and 10.5 boards a game. Samuels. Trigger. Back to Brooks. Can she do it again? Not this time. First miss for Zoe. Verhulst spinning inside. Won't drop for Williams. Pierre with the rebound. That's her second, and here comes NC State. Samuels transition three. Trigger knocked it away. She touched it last, and it will be Oklahoma basketball.
Well, Reagan Beers finally gets the touch down low, and credit Williams for finding her. Was patient, ball reversal, great seal by Beers.
So a handful of substitutions for each team. Kaya Smith, sophomore, who's had a good second season for Oklahoma, comes in number 4. Beatrice Culleton is on. Here she is, wearing 0. Verhulst looking for the post up on Devin Quigley, who's in for NC State. Chavez on the pull-up.
Yes, just a freshman. Chavez, 3-level scorer, and is just already exceeding my expectations for a freshman point guard in this system.
I want to get your thoughts on Chavez as we go along. Verhulst with the block. Good defense. It'll be NC State basketball when we come back to Norman. Good start here. It's 10-10. Chavez with the pull-up 3 and a rebound for NC State. Zam Jones. Jones got a little space, and she'll knock it down for 3. NC State had missed 4 straight field goals, but the sophomore from Greenville, North Carolina, gets her first points.
So much interchangeability with the pieces for Oklahoma. Guards who can post, posts who can knock down the 3.
Chavez now 2 for 5 from the field after that miss, and here's Brooks. Little trouble in transition defense, and a foul is called, and that will send Jones to the free throw line to shoot 3. So let's just pick up where we left off with Lofton and Stewart, the 2 other freshmen. Good freshman mix to add to this veteran group. Reagan Beers and Peyton Verhulst, the senior leaders on this team.
They aren't just playing, they are playing at a high level. You see the rankings, but it's the selflessness, it's the chemistry that's really impressed me so far with Oklahoma. They share the ball extremely well. Against Florida State, head coach Jenny Bronchek was not happy with her starters. She platoon subbed and went 5 players from the bench, and you saw no drop-off. I think this is a really deep, really talented Oklahoma team.
109-91 was the final in the win Sunday in Fort Myers over the Seminoles. They fell behind by 9 early, as Christy mentioned, but they ended it with 6 in double figures, 66 second half points, 66 points in a half for a team.
It was a fun game to watch. I'm not sure how the coaches feel about that game, but as a fan, it was a tremendous game to watch.
Chavez knocks down that 3. The foul was on Kaya Smith on the other end on the 3-point shot. Chavez gets that one to drop, and she's got 7. Jones averaging 15 points and 5 assists in the last 4 games, playing with a ton of confidence in the take for 2.
Well, so far, Zam Jones and Zoe Brooks are playing extremely well. They're not getting sped up, and they're taking good shots.
Chavez, one thing we know for Chavez in her early career here, the freshman, of course, from Lubbock, Texas, is she'll shoot a lot. 16 field goal attempts per game for the freshman. She's got 7 attempts here in this first quarter.
And Jenny Bronchek was telling us today, I've been on her about some of the shots she doesn't take because it's in our system. She wants her to look for those pulls.
Culleton with the good block, and then Trigger sticks with it, finding Quigley on the cut for her first 2. Lofton, good feed inside, some more good passing. This is a Oklahoma team that shares the basketball. 21 assists a game, good for 8th in D1.
Well, that tends to happen when you're averaging 92 points a game. A lot of sharing of the basketball with this program.
To the basket, won't drop, but a trip to the free throw line coming up for NC State. Speaking of sharing the ball.
Absolutely, selfless play by both teams. This time it's Traeger with a drop pass to the cutter. Great read, and then in transition, you don't get to stop and look. You have to match up. Great job of Lofton cutting straight to the hoop.
Little comparison here, 5 assists on 8 field goals made by Oklahoma, 1 assist on 8 made field goals for NC State as Trigger heads to the free throw line. Still more to come after us here on ESPN2. The ACC-SEC Women's Basketball Challenge continues. 19th ranked Tennessee in Palo Alto to take on Stanford at Maples. Tennessee coming off a loss to UCLA by 22. So the Lady Vols looking for a bounce back against the Stanford team that's 8-1 on the season. That's coming up after we're done here in Norman. Out of bounds, last touched by Oklahoma, so it's NC State basketball. If you're NC State, can't ask for much more here in the first quarter on top by 4.
Absolutely, and I think a key, and I like how Westmore was able to get Pierre some rest. They're a little lean on the bench this afternoon with 2 players out with injury and sickness, and so it's key for the bigs of NC State to avoid foul trouble.
Lorena Awu and Adelaide Jernigan, the 2 players who are out tonight, so 9 dressed for the Wolfpack. And you usually need a little depth against this Oklahoma team and the way they like to move up and down the court. Maddie Cox on the turnaround. Won't drop. Reagan Beers has the rebound. 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Chavez has been active here. Gets by her defender and puts in 2 more. Double figures already for the freshman. She's got 11.
And you're seeing a little bit of matchup zone by Oklahoma.
Good movement, wide open 3 for NC State, just couldn't get it to drop. On the turnaround, rattles in and out, the bid by Brooklyn Stewart, the freshman from Colorado Springs. NC State likes to play with some pace, but tonight might be the night where they take the air out of the ball from time to time just to try to stay as fresh as possible.
I think if they get a run out in transition, they're going to take it. Otherwise, I think they want to work and get a good shot, especially when you have Pierre in the game, who's so good on the offensive glass.
Aggressive take by Cox on Beers, unable to hit. Williams has it for Chavez. Chavez finds another opening. Can't hit this time. Pierre can't control the rebound. You don't say that too often. Oklahoma fighting on the glass. Counted in the foul, a chance for a 3-point play, Brooklyn Stewart.
It is all about the transition game right now for Oklahoma. You see the miss, but then you just see players give up on the rebound. Don't stay with it. Brooklyn Stewart does, able to get the ball, able to get the bucket.
First points for Stewart, averaging 7 a game, had 5 points, 7 rebounds in 13 minutes before fouling out against Florida State. And you can just see what this Oklahoma team can get done when it comes to national ranks. 6th in scoring. They've gone for 100 and more 3 times this season, all in the last 3 games.
And it's really interesting to watch Oklahoma on defense. It is Williams making the play calls defensively. The small forward, she's the one talking, getting them set defensively every trip down the floor.
Fed inside, Pierre had it knocked away. Beers can't save it. It'll be NC State basketball. I thought Jenny Baranchek made it kind of clear that Sahara Williams, she's the vocal one. She's the leader on this team on the court because she does everything so well on and off the court. And there she is, directed traffic in the defensive end as they come back up the floor.
I asked Jenny Baranchek, I said, who is your glue defensively? I said, and is it different than your best defender? And then who is the person that just makes everyone better? And she said, that's all Williams.
Yes, checked every box. And here is Williams in transition after the NC State turnover. Williams spinning, ducking under, putting it in for 2. Great finish by the junior. Kaishi Lunin on the floor, number 7. Final seconds, first quarter. Cox has it knocked away. Down she goes, up ahead with 1 second. Lofton didn't get it off in time. They're going to go to the monitor. It went in, and the officials right away say, let's go to the monitor. But it looked to me like that was well after the quarter ended. But our officiating crew, Lonnie Spurlock, Billy Smith, Eric Bruton will just check things out here.
The call on the floor is under review to see if the foul occurred prior to the expiration of time.
So a foul being checked here first. So was there a foul called? I thought I saw the indication that perhaps this is an offensive foul called here, although
That's in her hand, and I don't see the officials.
No, that's not offensive. I can see the arm up, lower left hand portion of the screen. And we're looking at the basket light. Sometimes the eyes are drawn. We'll watch one more time. If there's zeros, and the basket light go on before any contact would be the question, right, Christy?
The
Correct.
foul occurred after the time expired for the quarter. No basket, start the quarter break.
All right, so no baskets and no foul. We heard the details, and we're at the end of one here in Norman. Entertaining first quarter, 2-point game. the struggle and the challenge that her sister went through and the strength that she showed to really inspire not just her big sister, but this OU team as well.
Well, it was really touching just to see the pride that Peyton had in Addie. She said she's a warrior. She's a tough cookie. And cancer is devastating. Childhood cancer is just heartbreaking in and of itself. But the greatest thing is that we can say Addie is a survivor, and her scans were clean this past summer.
So Addie was dealing with health issues when she was younger. Epilepsy, was having seizures, and then early last year she was experiencing weight loss and was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, an aggressive cancer, went through chemotherapy, 5 rounds of it, and according to the family, doing great. The one thing I hope is happening here tonight, Peyton told us that Addie doesn't watch her games. The family's up in Kansas. I guess it's pretty snowy up there, so they're watching on TV. Hello to the whole family, and it's a big family. There's 6 kids. Addie, I hope you're watching tonight, and I hope Addie gets this message, because your big sister is really proud of everything that you've done, and we're thrilled for you and for the entire family, so great job. Addie, how do you not watch? Your sister plays for an entertaining team. She's doing an amazing job. She's had a great career.
Addie's watching. There's no way Addie is not watching.
Oh, Peyton told her, Addie, if you're ever going to watch, tonight's the night. Good job by Pierre to get the basket. 6-0 run to close that first quarter for Oklahoma to put the Sooners on top by 2. Now we're tied up again. Bears trying to show that range, a little too strong, and Brooks and Peyton Verhulst fight for the rebound. Possession arrow will give it to NC State. They're still fighting. They're still fighting.
There's just some competitiveness on the floor.
A little bit.
So if you're new to watching Oklahoma, one thing you're going to see every time they get a defensive rebound, you're going to see a post player rim run, meaning they're going to go right to the rim, which will pull defenders. You're going to see other players get out wide. That's why Oklahoma's getting some of these open looks from outside right now.
Zaya Van has it. Lunin back, but Van puts it in for 2.
So we talked about the other 4 starters in the open, but Zaya Van is a disruptor on defense. She can score. As we saw, she can pick a pocket, but she kind of gets this engine revved up on the defensive end.
Came off the bench all of last season. Starter this year for this Oklahoma team. Brooks, tough shot. Bears with the rebound.
I think for NC State, they've got to get a little bit of ball movement, because otherwise you're battling the height advantage of Oklahoma.
Williams goes to the spin again and scores again. 6 points to go along with 4 rebounds and an assist for Sahara Williams in the first half. Trigger back to Brooks. One thing for NC State, they cannot have many empty possessions against this Oklahoma team averaging 92 points a game.
Well, it's chicken and egg when you have an empty possession. It allows Oklahoma to get out and run in transition, and then it just continues to allow them to get set on their own defense.
Van got the block on the perimeter. 3.3 to shoot for NC State. Brooks will check out.
Oklahoma likes to set up in a matchup zone on baseline out of bounds. Possession earlier when NC State had the ball out of bounds, they threw it off their backside.
Williams, another rebounds, and a foul in the backcourt called on Lunin. First on Lunin, freshman from Goodyear, Arizona. Williams, why not? Smiling, clapping as she comes up the floor.
Well, you've seen NC State play off of her, trying to protect paint. Great read by Williams to knock down that 3.
Williams now 1 of 2 tonight from beyond the arc. 5 made 3s on the season. Jones with the scoop. She'll head to the line to shoot a couple.
Sahara Williams trailing in transition, and you see Pierre sitting at the SEC mark, just giving her space, trying to clog up the paint. Williams says, thank you very much.
Really playing well, 16 points, 14 rebounds, was 6 of 10 from the field in the Florida State win. Averaging almost 20 points a game, shooting 70% from the field in the last 3. We have more ACC SEC Women's Challenge basketball tomorrow on ESPN. 7 Eastern, 3rd-ranked South Carolina taking on 22nd-ranked Louisville. Then Duke hosting undefeated and 5th-ranked LSU at Cameron Indoor. LSU is 8-0. Every game, they've gone for 100 or more.
Well, the #1 scoring offense in the country in LSU and one of the historically better defensive teams in Duke. I'm really eager to see that matchup.
You think the century streak ends tomorrow? You calling it right now?
I think at Duke, there's the challenge, LSU. And honestly, can Duke find their offense? That's the other piece of that matchup against a much better defensive team this year in LSU.
Beers and Williams will check out with 6:44 to go in the quarter. NC State has been outscored 7-3 so far here in the second. They led by 6 in the first.
Well, I like this on-ball screen action with Trigger.
Working it for Jones.
Because either Jones or one of the guards can get open for their jumper, which they've got to be able to make those 15, 70-foot jumpers, or Trigger's so good at the pick and pop.
Chavez won't drop. And the rebound for Jones, and here comes NC State. They will run off the miss with Lunin. Lefty with the pull-up for 2.
We talk a lot about Zoe Brooks and Zam Jones, but Lunin is coming upon her own. The freshman is a playmaker when she gets on the floor.
Good job by NC State, getting back in transition. Transition 3 for Jones. No. Pierre on the offensive glass. Yes, that's what Camille Pierre does. Crashes the board, gets putbacks, and NC State on a run to tie the game at 30. Lunin gets called for the foul. That will send Chavez to the free throw line.
Well, Camille Pierre just knows how to time those offensive rebounds, snatches it down, and when she gets that offensive rebound, she's going up with it.
So here is Chavez. You obviously have heard her story. National Player of the Year out of high school last year. She scored almost 5,000 points in her high school career, 47.96 to be exact. What have been your impressions? You were here for practice yesterday. We were both here for shoot-around today. You were closely watching. We talked to players and coaches. What are your thoughts about how the Chavez fit has been so far here at OU?
These players, her teammates, love her. And I talked to almost every staff member. They say she has been a joy to coach. She's a gym rat. All she wants to do is play basketball. She was in here at 9 p.m. last night working on her game. And there was a lot of smoke around her recruitment. #1 recruit in the nation. But I think she's found the right fit here at Oklahoma, and her teammates are really happy that she's here.
There's that freshman class highlighted by Chavez. Verhulst has a shot blocked. Van can't hit, and the rebound comes away to Zam Jones. Jones waiting for support, finds it in Pierre. Heading downhill, but a little out of control. Turnover. Here comes Verhulst. And Brooks with a foul in the backcourts. Get us to our 5-minute media timeout. It comes with
us, or can we match this pace?
Eric and Christy, will send it back to you, and we'll see you here in the studio in just a few.
Yeah, Kelsey, we got to get it back quick, because Oklahoma doesn't wait around for us. Thank you. We'll check with you all at halftime as Oklahoma scores to go back on top by 2. NC State shooting well here in this second quarter. They're 5 of 10 from the field. Jones with 10.
Nice job, Oklahoma, getting over those screens, blowing up the offense.
There's Brooks, sees an opening to the basket. Verhulst hangs in there, but Brooks does as well. Count the basket. They will review it next dead ball or next opportunity just to make sure it beat the shot clock, and that's not away from Williams.
No, they got Pierre with a foul.
Yeah, Pierre with the foul. So the Brooks get rid of this into, I didn't see that through the traffic. That was a pretty nifty.
I think that's going to count. I didn't see the shot clock go red.
It's at the scores table right now saying they want to review that play just to make sure the basket was good. Look, to us on the first replay, it was good. It was a really good play by Brooks to get the handle.
Just like Brooks' design.
Tough shot, but Peyton Verhulst makes tough shots.
I mean, we're not even through the second quarter. Already 26 paint points for Oklahoma. They came in tonight averaging 45.
Jones works with Trigger, rolls to the baskets for 2. 6 points for Trigger, 2 for 4 from the field. Came in averaging 11.5 points a game. Williams will try again. Not this time, and Pierre's got the rebound. That's her 8th rebound of the first half. Brooks. Samuels will try the step back 3. Van has the rebound. Approaching 3 minutes to go in the first half. Williams again. Verhulst with the save. Knocked away, battle for the loose ball, won by OU. Verhulst for 3. Trying to find her range here tonight. Brooks back the other way, one-on-one. Bit of a force, but guess what? Trigger, right place, right time, and 1.
And one thing Jen Ronchak preached nonstop yesterday in practice, we must box out. Transition bucket, nobody matches up with Trigger in the trail, goes untouched for that rebound putback.
It was a wild shot by Zoe Brooks, but Tilda Trigger was there to help her teammate out. The sophomore from Stockholm, who averaged 6.5 points a game last season, all freshman selection in the ACC. You see her numbers this year. Also, 8 rebounds a game is good for 2nd on the team.
Well, 5-0 run by Trigger all by herself.
Trigger inside, no defensive. Reagan Beers in there. Beers with 6.
You have to do your work early if you're going to try to defend Reagan Beers in the paint. That time she got the advantage on Trigger, made it for an easy score.
Brooks denied by Beers. Pierre trying to take Stewart. That one won't drop. Verhulst tried to find Williams. It was last touched by Oklahoma. NC State ball.
Reagan Beers does such a good job of her positioning, doing the work before she asked for the ball. She wanted it to go up. Her teammates read it and then went into her, so she had that drop step baseline to the middle.
See the numbers for Beers, averaging 17 points, 10.5 rebounds a game. Pierre. NC State by 3 inside of 2 minutes to go. Jones trying to take Chavez out of it. Trigger there with the defense to swat it away. Good push here by the Wolfpack, trying to add to their lead. Pierre off the bounce to the basket, got it for 2.
Well, one thing that Oklahoma's done is run different defenders at Pierre, and she hasn't cared. She's hit the jumper, she's taken them off the bounce.
Outside shot again. Verhulst with the putback, no. Williams fighting inside, last touch by Samuels, OU basketball.
Camille Pierre from the high post, this time against Brooklyn Stewart. Realizes the help side is coming, brings it to the inside of her body to avoid that rotation and finishes.
Baseline out of bounds play. Samuels is going to get called for the foul, trying to deny Williams.
One thing early part of the season, but Oklahoma's having great success on their baseline out of bounds plays. One, they set good screens, but they read the defense extremely well. That time Williams reads it, gets the foul.
Williams to the free throw line. 71% free throw shooter. Oklahoma got to a line a ton against Florida State. 40 free throw attempts. They were 32 of 40 in that win.
They're averaging drawing almost 20 fouls a game. It's that pace of play. Teams wear down, but they're also putting so much pressure on you and getting into the paint.
Trigger with the rebound. 9.6 rebounds and an assist for Trigger. Big screen set by Pierre. Won't drop in as Chavez went down. Samuels out of the scramble, open look for 3. And Beers pulls it down. Chavez on the pull-up. Pierre the rebound. Already a double-double for Camille Pierre. 10 points, 11 boards. Jones off balance. Good shot by Zam Jones.
Oklahoma waiting, going to try to take the last shot of this half.
NC State outscoring Oklahoma 24-15 this quarter. Wolfpack have shot 52% from the field. 5 on the shot clock. Beers on the turnaround, no. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by OU, and time here for NC State to add to their lead before the end of the half. 3 seconds.
Yeah, Oklahoma's starting to extend some pressure just to make this hard for NC State to get the shot off.
Brooks will push across half court on the run, looking for some contact, no call, and that does it for the first half. But NC State at Oklahoma on top by 7 over the 9th-ranked Sooners. Chavez leading the way with the 13.
More paint points. They started executing on the screen on the ball action. They were moving better without the ball in their hands. 28 paint points in that first half. Oklahoma had only been allowing their opponents 15 a game. NC State, the screen on ball and roll. I think if more they can get Trigger involved, the more success NC State will have here in the second half.
Trigger was really good in that first half. She had 9 points. The leading scorer was Zam Jones with 12. Chavez had that strong first quarter, 13 points to lead OU in scoring in the first half. We mentioned Zam Jones. Paint points even. Rebounding, one number I know you wanted to track, and NC State was +6 on Oklahoma on the glass in the first half.
And I think it's a direct correlation of why they have a 7-point lead. They've been good on the glass. They have to continue to do that here in the second half.
OU with the first possession of the third quarter, and they look inside for Beers, and NC State was ready for OU to look inside. Pierre back the other way, needs help, still needs it, doesn't get it in time. Taken away by OU. Van trying to turn Brooks around. Van, beautiful move for 2. Four points for Zaya Van, one of those 5 starters, averaging double figures on the season for a team that's averaged 92 points a game so far through the first 8 games of the season. Trigger, can she keep it going in the third quarter? Van giving up some size to Pierre. Inside to Beers, muscles it in for 2.
And Oklahoma, after that score, going into some matchups. No, they're going to go back to man. She changed her call. One key for Oklahoma, a number of buckets by NC State in that second quarter. Miscommunication, not calling out screens, not calling out switches.
Zam Jones stays hot. 14 points for Jones, averaging 12 points a game on the season. As we mentioned before, averaging 15 points a game the last 4. Pierre with it inside. Here's Brooks, off balance, counted and 1. Chance for a 3-point play for Zoe Brooks.
Zoe Brooks just measuring up, waiting patiently, and then gets the moment to take it at the defender, elevates through the contact. Up to 14 points already.
See the numbers for Brooks, all freshmen in the ACC. Last season, first-team selection, most improved in the ACC, averaging 14 points a game. She's the veteran of this team. This is career start number 50 for Zoe Brooks, and a turnover by Van, taken away by Zam Jones.
And Westmore was honest with us. He said, we've got a lot of youth. He said, we also have returning players in new roles, and it's just a big transition for them.
Brooks, nice shot for 2. Lots been made of what this NC State roster makeup is. No seniors on the roster, a first in NC State program history. And we asked Westmore today, who's your leader? And he just kind of nodded, said we're still trying to figure it out. But they figured some things out here in Norman today, although Oklahoma comes back with a basket to pull within 8. Trigger puts it in.
Give her the assist. Camille Pierre, right place, right time for Trigger.
Williams scores on one end, Trigger on the other end. Inside Williams. Working on Pierre. Pierre sticks with it, though. Now Brooks. NC State up double digits, and Brooks can't add to the lead.
Great box out by Van there.
Here's Van around Brooks. Van, Verhulst made a little bit of a pathway for her to the basket for two.
And you hit it on the head. That's all Peyton Verhulst, sealing off the defender that gave Van the alley to the rim. Up and down pace. Westmore wanting his team to slow down and get into a set.
Trieger. Two more for Tilda Trieger. She has 13. Her season high at 19. Also a career high in the season opening win over Tennessee. Williams won't drop. And a foul's going to be called on Beers.
Tilda Trieger likes playing on the road. That's all I'm going to say. First road game for NC State. Trieger's coming up huge for the Wolfpack. She's not forcing the action. She's reading what her defender's doing. That time, Beers backing off of her. She knocks it down. And this is what I love about Tilda Trieger. It's from year one to year two. You see almost double in points, almost double in rebounds, and shooting a very high percentage from three.
Two personal fouls on Beers. Emma Tolan, the freshman from Ireland, is on the floor, number 10 for Oklahoma. Brooklyn Stewart on as well. Kaya Smith picked up 3 fouls in the first half. Wonder how much we'll see her here in the second half. Trieger defended well. Oklahoma gets the stop. Here's Chavez. Been quiet for a little while. Just a little while. 15 now for Aaliyah Chavez.
We talk so much about Oklahoma's offense, but it is their defense that fuels their offense. Oklahoma needs to get some defensive stops.
Samuels corner three. Trieger inside. Couldn't get the follow-up. Chavez flips it up. Did I say something about her being quiet for a while? She knows how to get things dialed up in a hurry. 4 quick points. Oklahoma within 6. They were down by 10. Trieger. Foul called on Stewart.
Well, Eric Freed says she's been quiet.
I won't make that mistake
I got
again.
you. Pull up in transition because they gave her a little space, and then she just attacks. A great kiss off the glass for the freshman.
She wasn't part of the challenge matchup last year for NC State. That was a win for Oklahoma at Louisville. They were down 17 in that game. They won by 6 in Louisville. Verhulst had 21 to pace the Sooners. Chavez has 17 to pace them here tonight. Trieger at the line. 15 points now for Tilda Trieger. Williams leans inside on Pierre, who gets called for the foul.
Williams did a rim run and sprinted the floor and just sealed the defender on her backside and just kept calling for the ball.
Williams to shoot a couple. 0 for 3 tonight, trying to find her touch at the free throw line. A reminder, coming up when we're done here in Norman, the ACC-SEC Women's Basketball Challenge will continue at Maples Pavilion. 19th ranked Tennessee, 5-2 on the season, taking on Stanford, Cardinal 8-1 after dropping a game to Florida Gulf Coast. You'll see that when we're done here on ESPN2.
I think it's a big game for both of those programs. For Stanford, that it's a new year that they can win the big games. And for Tennessee, I think they're still looking to find that true identity this season.
Samuels, tough shot, can't get in. The foul's going to be called on Trieger. We mentioned before the season opening win for NC State was against Tennessee as they beat Florida State 80-60 was the final. Before us, we mentioned Kentucky, Miami. Tony Morgan had 20 in that game.
How about them Bulldogs, though? 10-0 start, best start in 11 seasons.
How about them Sooners coming out of the immediate break? Stewart gets the bucket. Maddie Cox on the floor for NC State.
And now they're in their matchup zone.
NC State looks a little confused against the zone, so Zoe Brooks tries to attack it. They get the three, no. Pierre's got the offensive rebound, a second chance here.
Oklahoma does such a good job of mixing up the defense. They can go from the zone into man and vice versa.
Pierre must love when a team goes to zone because she finds the opening to rebound time and time again.
I don't think Pierre cares what a team is in. She's going to attack that glass. Camille Pierre, third in the nation in rebounds. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Those tries add up to 17 rebounds now for her on the night to go along with the 12 points.
So that's 54 rebounds in her last 3 games.
Oh, you're doing quick math. You let me know how that works out.
37 and 17 tonight.
Brooks at the free throw line, the foul on Brooks rather, sending Van to the free throw line. Brooks' second personal foul. No one with more than 2 for NC State. I mentioned Smith with 3 in the first half for Oklahoma. NC State led by 10, 56-46. Right now it's a 5-point game. Quigley will try a 3. Look good off her hand, and she delivers. The sophomore from Manchester, New Jersey, has 5. Back the other way, and Cox disagrees with the foul call.
Sahara Williams is like a receiver when it comes to transition offense. She is sprinting the floor, just calling for the ball, and she's going and getting them.
There is Williams. Went for a team-high 21 against Coppin State before going for 16 and 14 in the Florida State win. Another one to come. ESPN2 Friday night men's hoop top 25 showdown. Gonzaga ranked 11th, Kentucky ranked 18th, 7 o'clock Eastern time. It's in Nashville at Bridgestone Arena. That's coming up on Friday. So Williams figuring things out at the free throw line after a cold start.
That's the player-to-player for Oklahoma, and they like to switch a lot, 1 through 4. Again, the versatility of their players.
Good movement by NC State. Open look in the corner, won't go. That's Maddie Cox on the glass with the putback. First points for Cox. Chavez got her defender in the air and made her pay. It's a 2-pointer. They will go to the monitor to check for 2 or 3 at the next timeout. Brooks, tough take, earns a trip to the free throw line.
Chavez, I think, got away with a double dribble there, and that's what Sam Jones was talking about, because she just stopped playing and looked to the official like, isn't that a double dribble?
Brooks at the free throw line. Zoe has had a steady climb. I mean, she's been in the mix since her freshman year. Last year, all-tourney team at that ACC tournament when NC State made it to the final. Scored 17 against Duke. Wes Moore's team came up short. Of course, we all remember what happened 2 seasons ago for the Wolfpack. 31 wins, a trip to the Final Four. Different look to this NC State team this year as Stewart hits. You don't see Isaiah James, you don't see Sanaya Rivers, 2 first-round WNBA draft picks. So a bit of transition here, especially in the beginning of the season for NC State, replacing such valuable players.
NC State has the 3rd hardest schedule based on net rankings of opponents. Wes Moore has put together a really challenging schedule. And so some people will be like panicking, and it's like, no, this is part of the growth that we've come to expect with NC State. And a lot of it is guards dribble penetration, but this time Brooklyn Stewart saying, I'm not here. Listen, if you're a Wolfpack fan, there's no need to panic. Every year it seems like we're at this point with NC State. and Westmore gets his team better and better throughout conference play.
Brooks not afraid to take it against Reagan Beers. Can't get it to go, and here comes Verhulst. Chavez, open look for three. Williams won't be denied. Tie-up possession arrow will give it to NC State with 2 minutes straight up to go in the third quarter.
Williams just staying with this play, and if I'm not mistaken, they got her for a foul there. I thought the official just signaled that.
Cox will launch, can't get the three. Verhulst has the rebound.
So something to watch for NC State. They have 14 offensive rebounds. No one went to the glass just then. As fatigue may be setting in.
Stewart finds Beers, who can't find the basket, and Trieger takes it away. Ninth-ranked Oklahoma. Winners of 6 straight, and that's going to go against NC State.
Well, and credit who else but Sahara Williams. Went over that screen, and Trieger's trying to set it so she moves into her path. Easy call for the official.
Stewart. Chavez got her feet tingled up with Jones. Verhulst trying to work on Brooks. Count it, and the foul. Size advantage for Peyton Verhulst. She took advantage and a chance for a three-point play.
I think Peyton Verhulst is so much more comfortable going into the paint, whether off the bounce or post up this season. And I asked her about this, and she said, I'm just playing freer because I'm trying to play with joy. Well, joy looks good on you, Peyton.
That's third foul on Brooks, who has the rebound off the miss by Verhulst. First points of the second half for Verhulst. Final minute of the third quarter. Here's Brooks playing with the 3 fouls. Little hesitation to the basket. Won't drop, but she'll go to the free throw line. Beers picks up the personal. That's her third. Pierre coming back into the game for NC State. Cox will come out of the game. Feels like there's quite a bit on Zoe Brooks' shoulders this year. We talked about she's the through line from that Final Four team and that experience of here tonight making her 50th straight start. You have Pierre coming in, who's a junior, so she's an upperclassman, but she played the last 2 years at Vanderbilt. So Westmore trying to figure out, as this team tries to figure out, who is the go-to for this NC State team? Who is the leader for this team?
Well, he said, he used the analogy of tennis. One's play ones, two plays two, three plays two. But now Zoe Brooks playing the top player on the other team. And that's a challenge. When you get to spot up, play off of stars that left this program through graduation a year ago, it's a lot easier. Now you have to be the playmaker, the voice, that stability for a program.
Lunin trying to stay in front of Chavez. Williams tracks it down. Final minute, third quarter. Culleton back on the floor for Oklahoma. A couple of freshmen going head-to-head right now. Lunin trying to stay with Chavez. Can't. Chavez got the opening, scores again. 21 now. Third time she's gone for 20 or more. Final seconds, third quarter. Jones has to go. 3, and she goes to the basket. Zam Jones accelerates, and that is how the third quarter will end.
Miscommunication again by Oklahoma. And once again, the guards for NC State make them pay. NC State.
The Cancer Institute estimated that as of 2022, there were over 18 million cancer survivors in the U.S., and I'm sitting next to one of them, so I'm always thankful that you're one of those 18 million. And we certainly hope through the funds raised through B Week that we can continue to strive to eradicate cancer.
Well, research matters. Every cent given matters.
Count it and one, and a turn to the crowd by Zam Jones. Chance for a three-point play.
The screen, once again, the on-ball screen is the only advantage these quick little guards for NC State need. They get downhill through the contact, get to the free throw line.
During the quarter break, the officials did go to the monitor, confirmed that that Chavez basket was a 2 in the third quarter, so score is correct. 73-65, 8-point deficit for the Sooners playing on their home floor. Rattling in another three, the freshman from Lubbock, Texas. 24 now.
Oklahoma can score, we know that. Can they get a stop and cut into this deficit?
Jones gives it up to Quigley. Now Pierre. Jones has a new career high tonight, trying to add to it. Verhulst there defensively. 6 to shoot. Jones with 4. Verhulst got a hand on it. Jones is going to have to launch it, and she does. Quigley tracks it down in the corner. Second chance here for NC State.
Westmore was screaming to pull it out, so she dribbled it through.
And Lunin just lost the handle. Verhulst, Chavez, Jones comes back and gets called for the foul.
Great defense by Oklahoma. A little fortuitous, but what do when you have the miscue? They push pace. Chavez getting to the free throw line.
Jones disagreed. It's her first personal foul. Mentioned Zam with 19 points. That tops her previous career high of 18 that she's done twice, including this season in the opener against Tennessee. Career high for Chavez, 29. She's done it twice. That comes out, so she's at 24 and holding on 10 of 21 shooting. .25.
And counting.
Jones, good feed inside to trigger for 2.
Great setup, way to turn the corner, but good job of keeping her head up, realizing the rotation by the defense.
Chavez lost the handle. Quigley couldn't grab it. It will stay with OU.
Off of the dribble penetration. You see the rotation by Beers. That leaves Trigger on the weak side open. Great dump down to the big.
Verhulst. Tough one for Beers to corral. She does, sticks with it, and gets the 2.
Give Zaya Van credit. She got her hand on that rebound, and that's how Beers wound up with the ball in the score.
Crowd here at the Lloyd Noble Center making a little noise. 4-point game. Brooks can't quiet the crowd. Williams the rebound. Tough one, Verhulst. Back to Williams, open 3. Last touched by the Sooners, NC State basketball. NC State came in averaging 74 points a game. They've got 75 on the board right now. So Wes Moore's team's been able to get things done offensively against Oklahoma here today.
Well, I asked him, where do you need to keep the scoring in order to get the win? He said, we got to keep it in the 70s.
Closing in on 7 to go here in the fourth rather. Jones knocked away by Verhulst. Jones open for 3.
Another miscommunication by Oklahoma, and NC State made them pay yet again.
Chavez answers, 3 more. Brooks leans in for 2. Back and forth we go here in Norman. Williams made the extra pass for Beers. .7 rebounds for Reagan Beers. NC State will slow it down as we approach 6 minutes to go here in Norman.
ISO to go one-on-one.
Pierre, tough matchup here for her with Williams there defensively. Brooks trying to work on Chavez. No call. Count the hoop. Zoe Brooks gets the friendly roll on the road. Van. It is just a shootout right now in Oklahoma. Van into double figures with 10. She touched it last. NC State ball.
I think Jenny Bronczek's asking for an appeal on this play, and Van just making things happen, goes off of it, and if she appeals, I think it's going to be OU ball.
I think she was checking with her staff. She's waiting for someone to check the replay and will not appeal.
On the flip side of that tight game, maybe she wants to make sure she holds on to her timeouts.
Jones. Chavez trying to turn up the defense, and she does. Takes it away. And a foul on NC State in the backcourt called on Jones.
Chavez's defense this time stays between the player and the rim. Then the quick hands as she goes up with a shot to force the turnover.
Second foul on Jones. Brooks the only one for NC State with more than 2. She has 3. Beers with 3. Smith with 3 for OU. Chavez 2 more. Chavez with 30 for the first time. I can guarantee you it will not be the last time.
And the thing is, everyone knows it's coming and no one is stopping it.
Brooks heading to the free throw line. Before she shoots the free throws, we'll take a timeout. 1 of 2. 13 points, 19 boards for the junior from Phoenix. 4-point game, approaching 4 minutes to go in the fourth.
It looks like Zam Jones is now face guarding Chavez, trying to limit her touches.
They still get it to the freshman. Williams comes to set the screen. The trap out top, knocked away from Chavez. 7 on the shot clock. Beers with the pass to Williams. The spin, and she's fouled.
Great job by Chavez of staying level-headed, keeping her head up. When that trap came at her off the on-ball, she gets it up the floor. And then Reagan Beers playing a little point guard to set up Williams. Verifying that she was going up in a shooting pattern. That's what the review was about.
So a quick review. Collaborative replay with Birmingham in use here at the SEC home venue as Williams hits at the free throw line. 15 now for Williams. 4 in double figures for Oklahoma. We've come to expect that. 1 of 2, and Trieger has a double-double. 17 and 10 now for Trieger. Brooks. Samuels back on the floor. The feed to Pierre. The quick release drops it in for 2 more. Williams fights inside. Counted for 2.
Great work by Williams to get that seal.
Brooks wants it back, gets it back from Samuels. Westmore calls a play from the sideline inside of 3 minutes to go in the fourth. Pierre on the spin for 2.
Westmore just keeps calling the set plays and his team executing at a high level.
Pierre knocked it away, but off the backboard into the hands of Van. And before the shot, a foul is called, and Camille Pierre is grabbing at her right leg.
NC State foul number 35, Zoe Brooks, or personal. Foul number 4.
Helped up by Trigger.
I'm laughing because Westmore is trying to get his trainer off the floor because he doesn't want to pull Pierre off the court. What a battle between Williams and Pierre.
Oh, you can see she's hopping right away.
Yeah.
Brittany Blunt is the athletic trainer for NC State. I think they're going to say they have to make a change here. She was out past half court because she can see from the bench, I'm sure, as we just saw in the replay, hopping around on one leg. So we'll keep an eye on Pierre if she needs some treatment, and she is going to the end of the bench just to get checked here, just to make sure she's okay.
Stretching it out, so it could have just been a cramp.
Maddie Cox is into the game. Williams inside, Trigger with the block. Williams sticks with it, can't get it to go. Beers fights and scores, and one.
Well, for Oklahoma, off the baseline, out of bounds. You see how NC State gets in a scramble mode. They're going for the shots. No one boxes Beers out on the weak side, and one opportunity.
Can't cash in. Trigger tiptoeing, tipped out of bounds, and it's going to be NC State basketball.
So here comes Pierre. Doesn't get to the table, and oh no, they're going to let her in. The last couple of plays by Westmore have been isolations for Pierre to go one-on-one.
Even if she's still trying to work out a cramp, he's like, we've got the ball, and I'm calling plays for you, so get on the floor. Will they go to Pierre again? Brooks, Williams there. Brooks, Williams recovered and got the block. Another great play by Sahara Williams. Van rattles it in for two. One-point game. 2 minutes to go. Crowd to their feet here in Norman.
ISO for Pierre.
Comes up short. Verhulst on the defense. Now here come the Sooners. They were down by 10 in the second half. They have a chance to go in front at the free throw line. Trigger with the foul.
It's the defense for Oklahoma of why I think they can make a deep run. Sahara Williams with the block. Then you see her sprint the floor and just bury the defender. That leaves Van open on the wing for that jumper.
Westmore's team closed the second quarter on a 6-0 run. The last lead for Oklahoma was in the second quarter. Williams has tied it at 88. Oklahoma in front. First time they've had the lead since just about 3 minutes to go in the first half. 90 seconds to go in the fourth. Trigger can't get the three. And a foul's going to be called on Verhulst, trying to battle against Pierre for the rebound.
If you're NC State, you love that look. A little screen and pop for Trigger. And who else but Camille Pierre down low, gets the defender, and you see the undercut there by Verhulst.
On the floor, so no free throws. Fourth team foul on Oklahoma. 15 to shoot. Verhulst with the block.
The seventh block for the Sooners. None bigger by this one by Peyton Verhulst. Times it perfectly and gets that ball out of there.
11 to shoot for NC State. Knocked away by Beers, 10 to shoot. Each team with their full complement of timeouts, and now Westmore will take one. You saw where I was going
yes,
there, right?
Absolutely. You could have been a coach.
Might be time to bring everybody in and draw something up in what is now a 1-point Oklahoma lead in the fourth quarter.
Get it in. That's one of the most difficult areas of the court to inbound a ball. And you see Trigger have to run to get the ball inbounds. Now 5 seconds. She's got to go.
Jones goes too strong. Beers the rebound. Up to Chavez.
Westmore telling his team, do not foul.
No
Get the
need
stop.
to foul. No need to foul. 1-point game. Final minute. Chavez to Williams. Williams, Verhulst. Verhulst, 4-3. Williams went over the back, and she gets called for the foul as Trigger had the spot. That's going to be number 5 on Oklahoma, so both teams in the bonus now, and free throws coming up for the sophomore from Stockholm, who came into this game 11 of 17 from the free throw line on the season, but she's 5 for 5 tonight. "18 points, 12 rebounds for Trigger tonight. Pierre has 17 points and 20 rebounds for the Wolfpack. She cannot break the tie. Samuels can't get the rebound, and here comes Oklahoma.
You've seen what NC State has done. They've, any on-ball screen, they've tried to double, get the ball out of Chavez's hands.
No timeout called by Oklahoma.
10-second shot different, game clock to shot clock.
Chavez wants the screen. She's going to try to do it off the dribble to Williams. Williams turns with 4. Williams ducks inside, too strong. Samuels, great rebound, and gave it up to Pierre. Timeout called by Westmore for NC State. It's NC State basketball in a tie game with 8.7.
Well, someone else is probably going to need to come to the ball because they are double teaming Brooks.
Brooks, tough spot at half court, and Van with the tie-up. Possession arrow gives it to NC State.
And that was a little pre-switch by Oklahoma to tie that ball up. It worked out perfectly, getting the jump ball and being disruptive.
Timeout is going to be called here. NC State will take it and will stay here, 89-89. And we referenced it before, Westmore frustrated with his team, talking about the lack of attention to detail and that they needed to find a way to be better in these key moments. We saw that with Samuels on that rebound and that save, and we've seen it with NC State answering every push by OU here tonight.
This is December, NC State. They learned a lot of lessons in November. Hard lessons, unfortunately. But this is what Westmore does. He's one of our game's best coaches. And to your point, Eric, I said, what are the areas your team needs to improve in? He said, we've got to have better focus and effort. We got to shoot better. Well, his team answered the call here this evening.
One timeout remaining for NC State, which is critical if they have trouble getting the ball in here on the sideline with Brooks.
And Verhulst not defending the inbound. It looks like she's just shadowing to try to make this inbound hard.
Trigger's got it. Back to Brooks with 5. Brooks has it knocked away, picked up, and then batted away by Williams with 1.7 to go. It is NC State basketball.
Once again, who else but the defensive stopper, Sierra Williams, with the 8th block of the evening for Oklahoma.
They may go to the monitor just to confirm the amount of time here. Right now the clock says 1.7. And they will go check and confirm the time.
We're reviewing to see if the clock ran after the whistle for the out of bounds.
So right now, 1.7 NC State basketball tie game.
previous player reviewed for attempting a shot.
Off the basket support, 2.1, so there'll be a little time on the clock, you would think.
Well, that matters because we've seen the last couple of possessions how hard it's been for NC State to get the ball inbounded cleanly.
The clock will be adjusted to 2.1.
2.1, one timeout remaining for NC State.
This has to be something that brings a player towards the rim. So a curl screen. We saw some double stagger today, some elevator screen. What I mean is that two players setting a screen and closing the door. Now, because of the foul situation for both these teams, NC State does not want to commit an illegal screen here.
Brooks will turn the inbound. Keep your eyes on Brooks if she gets it back here after this pass. 2.1 to go, tie game. Brooks gets it in. And
Timeout.
a timeout was called
NC State.
by NC State. Was it after the pass was thrown in? 1.8 on the clock right now. I think they're going to say pass was made. And that's the last timeout for NC State.
And this is that low sideline area, which is going to be another difficult inbounds pass for NC State.
So you see 2.1 on the clock. You see Moore calling timeout, timeout. But I think they gave it to him after the pass was inbounded. So no change on the clock right now, 1.8. And as Christy mentioned, it's going to be a sideline out of bounds play now for NC State.
And one thing Oklahoma's been doing, switching all the screens, making it very difficult for NC State to get the ball inbounded. If they could get a 5 count here, Oklahoma's got a chance.
I think they were drawing up a play for baseline, and then Moore saw that it was going to be sideline, and that changes things. So a little bit of improvisation perhaps here for NC State.
It totally is, because you see the players going to a new spot on the floor.
Jones to trade the inbound. 1.8 to go. Into the corner, taken away, and we will have overtime here in Norman. NC State couldn't get a shot off and will head to OT.
Most important thing is to get the ball inbounded. Unfortunately for NC State, it's deep corner with 2 players on her.
Reagan Beers with the defense in the corner to force the overtime. This is a game that deserves a little OT. Back with it in a moment. So we'll jump it up in OT here on night 1 of the ACC SEC Women's Challenge. Oklahoma outscored NC State 24-19 in the 4th quarter to force the OT, and the tap is controlled by Chavez, who looks to attack right away and scores right away. 32 for the freshman. Zoe Brooks.
Switching everything right now, or at least 1 through 4 for Oklahoma.
Pierre has it knocked away, taken away by Zaya Van. Then Van, a little tricky with the dribble, turned it right back over. Sam Jones. Jones to Triggers. Had a good night, not this time. Verhulst with the rebound. And a whistle away from the basketball. Beers and Trigger tangled up.
Calling it on Trigger. Beers is trying to get position, and what they're calling there is a Trigger with that little clamp of the arm.
Yes. So a reminder, both teams over the limit, so free throws on the way for Reagan Beers. Beers with 14 points, 9 rebounds tonight. Had the big steal at the end of regulation to help force OT. First 4 points of overtime scored by Oklahoma. Jones. Williams locked in defensively. Jones gives it up to Trigger. Trying to find Pierre on the inside. Not much happening right now. Brooks got some space and made the most of it for two. New season high for Zoe Brooks. She had scored 24 against USC. 25 here tonight.
NC State playing off of Williams.
A miscommunication, turnover by Williams. Chance here for NC State to tie it up or take the lead with a three. Jones looking for the tie. Beers got the block, and Beers got it. Beers is limping back behind the play. She's grabbing at her right knee. Van short. Beers is still back behind the play. Williams puts it in for two with Pierre down and grabbing at her leg. Brooks working on Van, and an offensive foul is called on Zoe Brooks. That's her fifth.
Zoe Brooks just trying to make something happen for NC State, and she gets called for that hook around Van. Huge blow for the Wolfpack.
Brooks fouls out with 2:43 to go in OT. She leads the game with 25 points on 10 of 22 shooting.
Trigger working so hard to prevent Beers from getting that inside position.
Verhulst. She's got 8 to go along with 9 rebounds. The freshman Lunin in the game now for Brooks in a big spot. And a blocking foul is going to be called on Chavez.
Shot clock is getting down, and Villas just puts it on the floor, hangs in the air. Huge bucket for the fifth-year player.
Just the first personal on Chavez. And here is Kaishi Lunin. First one drops. Kelsey in the studio.
Yeah, guys, the nightcap of our ACC-SEC Challenge just about to tip off between Tennessee and Stanford. This one will start on the ESPN app, and then we'll get you there after the conclusion of this one, Eric.
All right, Kelsey, we are in overtime here in Norman. 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Oklahoma with the ball and a 5-point lead with 2 minutes to go in OT. Chavez, no. Verhulst gets her 10th rebound, but couldn't hold on to it, and she gets called for the foul. That will send Zam Jones to the free throw line. Well, big challenge here for NC State. They dressed 9 here tonight, a little short-handed. Zoe Brooks, one of their top players, has fouled out. Samuels heads to the bench. And what has been an up-and-down game from the start, Christy. So NC State not with a lot left in the tank here at OU.
It puts a lot of pressure on the young lady at the free throw line, Zam Jones, because now she needs to be a primary ball handler as well as look for her score, because where they've had success is the guards getting downhill the second half.
We've seen this season that Zam Jones is up to the challenge. He's had a breakout sophomore year. She brings it to a three-point game. Van got past Jones. Can't get the pull-up. Beers inside is fouled. She'll go to the line.
Reagan Beers puts Trigger on her back and then just clears this rebound to create space to go up with the ball.
So that is the 5th foul on Trigger. A couple of tough calls to foul out the 2 NC State players.
Trigger, a great night
Great night for Trieger, indeed. 18 points, 12 rebounds, but she fouls out. Beers is short. One of two for Beers, 17 points for Beers. She had 6 at halftime.
Look for Zam Jones to get a touch here.
She's got it, defended by Van. Maddie Cox on the floor now.
Another switch by Oklahoma to keep her in front of them.
Entry pass Pierre. Van slipped down Pierre for 2.
Well, because Oklahoma was switching, Pierre had the mismatch, and NC State took advantage of it.
Into the hands of Chavez, who has 32 tonight. Beers on the post up. Pierre tried to deny her. Beers won't be denied. Van with the block.
You got to give Reagan Beers the ball. She's working so hard to create position, and from that position, she stays with her miss to get the putback.
Thrown off of the back of Beers by Jones for 2. 26 for Jones. 2-point game, final minute OT. Williams looking for Beers. Pierre trying to get in front of her. Beers. Down she goes. Pierre is down. Beers is now up. You got to try to buy Pierre as much time as possible right now because you can't afford for her to go to the bench right now.
Pierre just undersized against Reagan Beers. You can tell she's trying to use her athleticism to defend her, just loses her balance. And then there's the foul on the backside, and that's why Beers went down. She tripped over Pierre on the floor.
Beers to the line. Foul on Cox, her 3rd.
Again, only one time out for NC State left.
5th time this year that Reagan Beers has gone for 20 or more. 35th time in her career. Puts in the second one. 2-possession game. Here's Lunin.
NC State doesn't need a 3, but they need to go quick.
Quigley. She'll launch a 3. Pierre comes in. It gets called for the foul. Now send Chavez to the free throw line.
Quigley spots up for the 3. You see Pierre running in there, goes through Chavez.
Opportunity misses for Westmore's team with the possession at the end of regulation in a tie game with a chance to win it. They couldn't get a shot off. Running out of bodies here in OT.
And there's still time. With that missed free throw, it will still be a 2-possession game, but NC State has to go quick.
Been a rough night at the free throw line for Oklahoma. 61%. 33 now for the freshman.
I'd go right to the rim. They don't want to foul her.
3-pointer on the way. Too strong. Jones follows her miss. 8 seconds to go. Beers on the closeout into the hands of Verhulst. And NC State will not foul. And in overtime, 9th-ranked Oklahoma stretches the winning streak to 7. 103-98 the final.